Today we're gonna have some fun, weird things Italians do. Let's see.
Italian breakfast. It's like Italians eat cookies and cake for breakfast, literally. It's a small American child's dream to live in Italy.
Top 3 most popular breakfasts in Italy. Top breakfast overall, it has to be caffè latte and biscotti, which is a mug of warm milk with some mocha coffee inside, where we dip some cookies or biscuits. I get confused between American and British English here. I think Americans call them cookies. And here, unfortunately, modern Italians will use some industrially made substitutions. The absolutely most loved ones by Italians are the Mulino Bianco brand type of cookies. Top one from the tradition, let's say, a slice of bread with jam. Some Italians do butter, but it's not that common. Also, unfortunately nowadays, the bread is very often substituted for some kind of pre-packaged, industrially produced type of bakery thing. It's called fette biscottate. I really don't understand why Italians do that. And most popular breakfast when you are not at home, so you go to what we call bar. It's a coffee shop type of thing. We would have espresso or cappuccino with a cornetto, which is not a croissant, but it looks very similar. This is cornetto. It looks like a croissant, but it's really not. It's more sugary and less buttery, and it usually comes with a filling of jam or cream.
A proper Italian lunch and dinner, you're gonna have primo piatto, secondo piatto, fruit, salad, whatever, dessert, and a coffee. Oh wait, and you also have antipasto in the very beginning. As an American, I just cannot keep up. I don't know how they manage to eat so much and stay so skinny.
Yes. So even when I'm here in America and I go to an Italian restaurant, the menu is divided by primi piatti, secondi piatti, contorni, etc. And I see why Americans would be confused with that, because in the United States, no, I would say in the whole continent of America, even in other countries, it's always the same. You have a one plate meal, one bowl meal, like everything is in one plate. It doesn't work like that in Italy, not at all. A complete Italian meal, it usually happens only in the weekends, is consisting of antipasto, primo piatto, secondo piatto, contorno, dolce, caffè, digestivo e frutta. During the week, or for the vast majority of the meals of the week, we have 2 or 3 of these in one meal.
In America, you don't do all of that. If you want to have lunch, you make yourself a nice sandwich and you eat it. You make yourself a nice plate of pasta and you eat it. You have a nice salad and you're done. That is a portion of food. But Italians have a full course meal every time.
Again, it's not every time. I can assure you it's not every time. But generally speaking, we actually do prepare a meal, and as a habit, it's divided in multiple tiers. We set up the table, we call people that the meal is ready, everyone is gonna come sit down, and then we're gonna serve food and have it all together.
Maybe not if you're a student living alone, but if you're living with your parents, that's how it goes. The bidet.
Ah, yes, the bidet.
Okay, maybe it's not so weird that Italians use the bidet, but it's more weird that the rest of the world doesn't.
Well said, Tia, way to go.
What is the bidet, for those of you watching and don't know? It's a little thing that's next to the toilet where you wash your butt after using the bathroom. Italians find it extremely weird that nobody else does it. When we went back to America for the summer, and Enrico came to my house, obviously, I live in America, there was no bidet. And Enrico just couldn't handle it, I guess. Every time he followed it up with a shower. The guy took a shower every time he used the bathroom.
Okay, we're humans, we're animals, we poop every day. It's just basic hygiene to wash your butt after you poop. I don't understand how other humans are able to live in a civilized society and not do this. I've talked about this with several different Americans who have tried the bidet, and they admit it. Once you know the bidet, it's hard to go back. For me, it's a big problem every time I live abroad. Sometimes I try to plan my poop every time I'm about to enter the shower, which is a little bit complicated. Most of the times I manage with wet wipes, which is definitely doesn't give the same results, and it's also kind of wasteful. And I really don't understand how difficult it is to put a bidet in your bathroom.
They talk with their hands, and not just their hands. Italians speak with their whole body. They're gonna throw their heads around and their whole chest around.
Could you tell I'm Italian from my way of using my body to communicate? Yes, this is very true.
Another weird thing that Italians do that might only seem weird to us Americans, Just like I said, it was really weird that we Americans basically praise America, praise our leaders, go crazy over everything that is patriotic. Italians are the exact opposite. Like, Italians love Italy, but they also hate Italy as well. Like, I don't know, the biggest critic of Italy will be Italians. There's always something negative they have to say about it. For every positive thing that I say about Italy, an Italian will always be able to counter me with why I'm wrong or why
Oh my God, this is so true. And as long as I was living in Italy, I didn't really realize how much criticism we practice on our own nation, our own politics, our own country in general. And living now in such an overly patriotic country like the United States, I don't think it's all that bad what Italians do, but at the same time, we complain a lot. When criticism passes that line that turns into mere complaining, that's annoying. And especially it's counterproductive. People just love to sit down and talk to the other people complaining about things without doing anything about them. What I always say is Italian national sport after calcio is complaining.
You find a lot of times Italians just complaining about everything about Italy, how much they want to leave, and blah, blah, blah. And to me, that's kind of weird because you live in the fashion center of the world with the best food, amazing climate, amazing geography, amazing culture, but all they do is complain about it.
Yeah, I love how Tia explained this part because it's so true. It's just that if you were born and grew up in Italy, you give these things for granted. You don't really realize how beautiful everything is, how pretty our architectures are, how it is such a privilege to wake up in the morning and walk to school and you have all these beautiful churches and buildings and roads and piazzas surrounding you. To me personally, the enlightenment moment has been going to live in another country and discovering how ugly the rest of the world is. This is a joke. There is beauty everywhere, but in Italy, there's such a concentration of good things. We just don't realize how lucky we are to live in Italy. I can see why, for a foreigner, it looks absurd that Italians complain so much about their country. By the way, Tia, she has a great ability to explain the cultural differences between the two countries, so I really suggest you to check out her channel. Okay, I'm Mary Jane, 100% Italian from the northeast of Italy. I run this channel, What a Shame Mary Jane, where I show my travels and I talk about philosophy. I also teach English to Italians, link in the description if you're interested. Check out this video here if you want to watch something similar next.